Hello, this is Lucas Palmeira from Imaginando, and I'm here to give you another tutorial on the RC. Today, I'm going to show you how to make the sounds from the song Drive by the Cars. This is quite a special theme for me because it's a song that I used to hear a lot when I was a kid, so it brings back good memories and good nostalgia. So let's get right into it and start with the bass. And the bass sounds like something like this. Gonna turn off this equalizer, this compressor, and this is just an utility to make the bass mono. And first, drop the patch back to default. And first thing that we're going to do is raise the second oscillator to maximum, drop an octave on the second oscillator, and detune it to 236. Okay, like this. Now, next thing we're going to do is drop the master to 645 and pre-gain to 943. Okay. Now we go to the filter and on envelope generator 2 amount, which is the amount of the envelope generator 2 that's going to control the cutoff frequency of the filter. We're gonna raise it to 666. Now for the cutoff, we drop it to 138. And resonance to 180. Okay, like this. Now, for the first envelope generator, the one that controls the amplitude of the sound, attack at 0, decay at 500, sustain at 395. Release at 300, envelope generator 2 at attack 0, decay 188. Sustain at 405. And release at 100. Now we go to the chorus, turn it on, drop the rate to 109. And raise the depth to 486. Like this. Finally, we go performance mode and change from poly to mono. And we have our patch made. The last thing we do is turn on the compressor and the equalizer. Now for the pad. Okay, and now I'm going to turn off the delay modulator, and bring back default. Okay, and now, so starting off, we raise oscillator 1, oscillator 2, and ring modulator to maximum. Pre-gain to 498. Sub-oscillator to 565. Okay. Now we go to the second oscillator, drop 1 octave, and raise fine-tune to 156. Now we raise sub-oscillator 1 octave. Now we go to the filter, and on the filter we drop the cutoff to 292. We raise the resonance to 0.58. And now change the mode of the filter from a low pass 4-pole to a low pass 2-pole. Like this. Now we go to the VCA and raise the keyboard to maximum. This means the higher the note, the higher the velocity. Okay. And now we go to the first envelope generator and raise the attack to 103. Decay at 500, sustain at 800, and release at 231. Now on the second envelope generator, attack at 0, sustain at maximum, decay at 456. And release at 100. Now we go to the reverb and raise the amount to 243. And the decay to 675. Now we turn chorus on and rate at 103. And depth at 632. Okay, now we turn our delay modulator on, which has 373 of time, 0 feedback, 313 of depth, and 127 of rate, full wet. For our K7D, we have a time of 10 milliseconds, a dry wet of 300, preamp at 193, and then maximum whoa, we got ping pong with maximum stereo width. Just to give it a little bit more widening. And now let's go to the high piano. Okay. Gonna turn off the delay out. And let's bring back the default patch. Okay. And first thing I'm going to do is change the first oscillator from a sawtooth to a square wave. And go to the second oscillator, drop 1 octave. And detune it to 156. 156. And now, first oscillator and second oscillator to maximum, and pregain at 626. Okay. Now, next thing we're going to do is go to the first envelope generator and drop the decay to 395. Sustain at 0. Release at 300. And on envelope generator 2, 230 on the decay, sustain at 400, and release at 100. Finally, we go to the reverb and raise the amount to 462. And the decay to 681. Okay. Perfect. So let's go now to the chord path. Turn on the delay. And go to the chord pad. Okay. And bring back the default patch. And first thing I'm going to do is raise 1 octave to the sub-oscillator. And let me just check for sure. What is, just to make sure. And on the first oscillator, we got both oscillators on the same note, for sure. So now I raise the second oscillator to 687. And I drop an octave, and I detune it to 72. Okay, like this, sub oscillator up, and now I raise sub oscillator to 742. And pre-gain at 505. Okay, and now envelope generator 2 on the filter. We raise it to 7 to 7, sorry. Now cutoff at 0. Resonance at 0. Resonance at 0.88, sorry. And now we change the filter to a low pass to pull. Now for the first envelope generator, attack at 0.54, decay at 500, sustain at 800, and release at 352. Now for the second envelope generator, 0.84. Decay at maximum, sustain at 0, and release at 273. Finally, we go to the reverb, raise the amount to 334, and decay to 718. Okay? And we got a chord pad. Now for the backlead sound, which is this sound. And as you can see, the other sound is exactly the same sound as the one before. I just made one is playing on the with the pan on the left, and the other is playing with the pan on the right with different melodies. But they are basically backlead and backlead 2 are the same patch exactly. So let's do now the backlead. Bring back the default patch. And now drop 1 octave on oscillator 1, drop 1 octave on oscillator 2. And now detune, first raise oscillator 2 and now detune it to 0.72. Pre-gain at 809. Envelope generator 2 for the filter 952. Cutoff at 0. Resonance at 598. Now attack at 0, decay at 500, sustain at 800, and release at 419. Now for the envelope generator 2, raise attack to maximum, decay at 230. Okay. 400 for sustain, and release at 401. Finally, we go to the reverb and raise the amount to 413. Modulation at 438. And decay at 590. Okay? And since the next sound is exactly the same, of course, I'm not going to do it. You just have to copy the patch. So we have everything ready. So let's just get this ready for us to listen. Okay, let's listen. And this was it, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. Remember that we always leave the Ableton session for you to download on the description below. If you enjoyed our content, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. We have new content coming up every week. And for now, I will say goodbye and see you next week. So, goodbye.